All right, hello everyone. So let's take a look at gold, 12th of October. Now we had 1876 as a target, as you know, from the beginning of the week. If you take a look at your weekly, you know where that's coming from. So no surprises there. That's that. That 1876 was done yesterday, as you can see. All right, 1876 right there. Astro hour there. Market pushing up really into that zone, retracing again into an Astro hour, pushing up, Astro hour pushing up and making it coming back into an Astro hour, moving up again. Now, at the top, we still have targets. One of them is 1897, which is on the weekly again, as you know, this blue zone there. All right, so we still got room to go up, but I also said there's room to close the gap. Okay, so we have to be a bit careful. Today, the market is also going to be a little pushy, especially towards New York. So we'll have to see what will happen there. We should hit these targets probably in the evening, right? So the market should probably get there. There are two things you can do today. Okay, if the market comes back down, you should go up because this is an impulse wave, and that level is 1865. The reason that's 1865 is this is the place where the market's going to come back to fill a bit of a gap and then push up. All right, so if it does that, we can go up as well. If you want to sell, I suggest you do so. If you're going to do it, it's going to be around 12:45, 10 past 2 my time. But the market can also break out if we're at a price there. Okay, so this is the zone. If the market is hanging around here, we could break out to push up. So it's really important. And then we've got this 7 o'clock here. And wherever the market is at 7 o'clock, the market might make a one last push as well and really bring us to a level where we can get to it 950, which is there. All right. And then 950 should be a place where the market will want to start looking around, changing or retracing. That's if the breakouts happen after, like from 10 past 2 to 5:30, okay? And then from like 8 o'clock to 9:50, right? So if we hang around somewhere around 7:30, 7:45, might see this push up really taking us to a target. Okay, so we've got to be a little careful. Why? Because if you're entering the trade today, okay, you see we're in the middle of levels here. We're at the 50 level now, according to that. It's done that goodbye kiss, but I said it should break above that. And as you can see, it's breaking above that because we want to get back into this zone and then sell off again. And I'm marked in this level as well. So the market has room to push. Tomorrow is a new moon. So we could be pushy until then. Now, yesterday was a swing day. As you can see, the market didn't reverse, but it made a big push. Okay, swing day is either a big push, it's a big move, or like it's a bigger move than what's been going on, or it's a turnaround. Okay, and depending where we are, we can expect a turnaround. If we're not somewhere that we expect the turnaround, then it's a question mark. However, though, you can see the market is going up. This gap here needs to be filled. So sooner or later, we're going to come back here. So maybe we'll go up, come back, and then this will be a buy location again to go long. I told you Saturn line was going to be strong. And as you can see, the market just shot up. So when it pulls back again, because it should, we need to go long again. But until then, the market has a potential to break out today. So I'd be careful. Impulse wave, this is a runner. If we pull back into the daily or 1865 or in between, right, going up at an Astro hour is not a bad idea at all. Okay, in the interim though, this is like a zone where the market should stall. 10 o'clock there, midday there, all right, around there. So these levels are really levels until this 2 o'clock, 10 past 2, until 2:45. This zone should be like an adjustment zone here. So the market should maybe go down, up, down, and then retrace into an Astro hour, and then could really go back up as well. Okay, so around 7 o'clock, we could be somewhere which we can go up again. So it can play both ways, just depends where you are, okay, with respect to the price and time. Okay, so be mindful. You're in between levels. So the market's either going to, keep pushing up, get to that target 1897, and keep 1917 on the cards for yourself. Okay, I'll put that up here. Sooner or later we'll get there as well. Okay, but the market should retrace a little bit. SP 500, there we are. Okay, so no real surprises there for us. Okay, I talked about 4392, so that was your target. As you can see, market went up. If you take a look at that, that's 845. Okay, and that's your 8:45 to 10 past 9 in your Astro hours. You see how the Astro hours were spot on there. And the market takes a beautiful swing all the way up. Also, if you take a look at this, this is your 2:15. All right, so we had 10 past 2, and we had, remember, 4:45. That's your 4:30. That's your 4:45. So from the highs coming down low to going up right into the target there. That's a beautiful one. We still got room to go up a little bit, but remember I said be careful. This is the zone, and I measured that zone for you there. Okay. Now this has got this level still. Why? Because remember I said this is the indecision bar. Okay. So the market might come up a little bit more, but in any case, this zone, if we see a weekly PSD, want to be thinking about selling off. Now, since Friday is a new moon, what we might think about is selling on the Monday. All right, so 54, 53, that's 4393 and 14 and 13. Okay, 413 is there. Okay, so on the weekly, as you can see, we've done one. 54.75 is 4413. So this zone, 4413, okay, this zone is like a target. So the market can still go up there, but it's nice to see how nicely the targets are working, coming back in and going up. Remember I said we've got a bit of a gap here to fill in. Market comes back, fills it in, goes up nicely. So all of that is okay. And then we should start to think about selling off. And next week we can actually, this is a really good push upwards, and then we should start to sink down again, okay, following the sell-off, and then we should go lower than this, coming back even lower into possibly this 4,050, 4,060 zones down here. Okay, so no problemo, I reckon. And that's it. So from this zone here, you're going to have to think about the sell notion, and you might want to leave that until next week as well, and that's not a problem. Okay, so this zone is a sell zone. 4,413 is right there, and this is your goodbye kiss zone. Your target is pretty much done. If you want to sit and wait till next weekend, you can. If you come up here and you want to sell off, you can. All right, just be mindful about the indecision bar. Okay, this one here, this one is always a bit tricky. So if we go up, then your next level is going to be probably 4446, 4450 to sell off. Okay, let's take a look at the euro dollar. Euro dollar, we said we want to get into that zone. Okay, and then we're going to think about selling in that zone, the blue zone here. Okay, as you can see, the market retraced yesterday. Let's take a look. If you went long in the retracement, you should have been okay. All right, this is the euro dollar. That's your 5 o'clock, 4:45 bar is there. Okay, so the market pushes down. Then you should have your 8:45. That's your 10 past 9. It's a 15-minute chart. This is your 8:45. and then that goes up, as you can see. Now remember, I talked about these targets. Well, pretty much we're there. All right, and that's how it is. So we still got a bit of room to go in there. Okay, we broke above it. Okay, and that's nice. This is what we wanted to see. The market should head up into the blue zone there. Okay, on the weekly 40, I did say we should get there. So if you bought the lows and got to 1.0641, which is pretty much there, okay, and you can take your profit and just call it a day, okay, because that's, as you can see, pretty good. And if you followed it since last Tuesday, you should be killing it. Okay, so there you go. It's all the way in there. If we go above that, then the blue line is where you're going to sell off, which is 1.0688, which I talked about in any case. Okay, so the market might tilt up a little bit more, but what we want to see later on is also going back down, because this is serious sell-off there. And since there are no gaps on the weekly, we can only check the gaps in the daily. Okay, and that should bring us into pretty much this blue zone here. Okay, that's the last manipulation before the sell-off. This is where they cleaned out the stops. So if we go back up into this zone, 1.068890, all right, that'd be a nice place to sell off as well, possibly next week. Let's take a look at Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and Bitcoin. Right, this is Dow Jones. Now with Dow Jones, remember Thursday is a swing day on Dow Jones, and because of that, we've got to be careful. We've got one target up here as well left off. Same again, as you can see, I've got 845 there, making the low, and then the market taking off. So no big deal there. Okay, 845, as you can see. Now, and that was like logical level, you can see there. Okay, so the market comes back where the market took off at 845 and so on. If you played the afternoon, the beginning of the afternoon as well, that 445 is there. All right, so 445 you could have sold off. All right, so Dow Jones, let's take a look on the daily. Okay, there we go. So daily, that target was done. We're expecting these levels. As you can see, this is a bit of a higher level here, but this here we got even high. So this stop should be taken out. So we should go up a little bit more. Be mindful of this little gap here. Okay, so this could like stretch out a little bit and go into Friday. And it shouldn't surprise you if it goes into Friday, because we got NASDAQ and SP 500 on Friday, and they, both of them are, at the end of the day, they're all indices, and indices move together. But this 48 is a target, 33,994. It should do it. 33,994 there. Okay, so this is the zone, and that's basically it. 33,9. Come on. Well, about here. Okay, so at the end of the day, you get the drift. 33,994. This is your zone on the PST. So we should hit that. Okay, and we'll see how things pan out. As you can see, Astro Hours working again nicely. And if you were a buyer here, which is like the obvious technical level, okay, then that would have been okay as well. You should have had a good run into there. So then next week we'll be looking to sell off as well. If it goes a little higher, don't panic, because like I said, we got a bit more room up there, in terms of price. Okay, but these should be taken out, so the market should go above 33,914. Okay, so let's take a look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ well in there, as you can see, we're in this zone. I talked about this level. The market has done that. We've got a little bit more up stretch here, maybe into the 67 on the daily. But if that's the case, that's a sell-off at 15,407. what you might want to do is next week when it retests the high, then you can sell off as well. All right, so be logical. You don't have to do it today. And Friday is the swing day, so 15,407 is somewhere up there. If it gets into that zone, okay, it's doable. Okay, so as you can see also yesterday, market sells off, market buys. It's all good. It's all logical. All right, there's nothing really, really no surprises there. Okay, and that's the target we were talking about, and it's done that target fine. Now what I'll do is 14. What was it again? Let's take a look at the daily. That last level 67, 15,407. So let's mark it in 15,407 somewhere. All right, so this zone here. So we still have a bit of room to go up. Maybe we'll muck around today. If it comes back down, it might go back up, make a slightly higher high. But this zone, as you can see, is the zone on NASDAQ as well, where the market kind of like headed up. So what we want to do is basically, at the end of the day, find a sell spot. Okay, this could happen tomorrow as well, and then sell off. As you can see, this is the manipulation bar. So the market can also stick its nose into here, which is fine. Okay, this is why dipping into here as well is okay. But as you can see, the stops were taken out here. It's all good. Okay, so no big drama. If it gets to there as well, that's going to be a sell zone. And on the weekly, we're pretty much done with all the targets there at 60, being 15,305, and it's pretty much all done. Okay, that 65 level is 15,873. 15,873 is going to be a bit far out. We'll worry about that if we still stand with the same kind of stuff next week. But this manipulation bar is something you should look out for as well. Can make slightly higher, which is fine. And then and then next Monday, we're just selling off from these highs. Okay. Bitcoin, let's take a look at the daily. Here's the Bitcoin. Yesterday the market went down as well. These was a swing day there. As you can see, I've marked these like ages ago with my astrological calculations. So let's see. Yeah, I've done it pretty much until the end of the year. As you can see, the selling. You see how they're buying here, selling off here. So it's just how it is. So if we go back up, you want to be selling again. See, it made that target 39. I talked about it yesterday. I said if you're going to sell, that'll be a daily target for you, and that's your daily target. Now look, if you sold into this zone, okay, let's see what the Astro hours here were. That's your 120, and if you take a look at yesterday, we had 10 past 2, right? So we had 10 past 2. Let me just push it in there. So the market retraces. That's your, 10 past 2 is going to happen here. 10 past 2, market falls down into your, let's see where 845 is over here. 845, that's your low there. All right, so 850 there. Okay, so 845 bar there. And 10 past 9. 10 past 9 is going to be in that bar there. All right, so that's nice and sweet coming in there. All right, so that's very logical. As you can see, beautiful push down and then the market bouncing up again. So if we go up higher again, selling is not a bad idea. This zone is not a bad sell zone. It's an equilibrium. Might go just slightly higher and then push back down again. If it does push further down, then we've got another level at 33, which is 26,083. Okay, so we could dip down into there as well. So as you know, with me, selling is the way to go. Okay, that's what I'm doing anyway. If the market goes up. Now, I don't day trade Bitcoin. Okay, I tell you guys all the time. So the only time I'd be doing this, trading it, is buying into it physically. When I say physically, I mean without any leverage. And that's going to be around when the price dips back down, either to this price or I'm going to wait till the beginning of spring. Okay, so it should be like in the spring or whatever. So if you're a buyer for the long term, you can wait. Okay, if you're day trading it, like I say, I've been saying it for ages, since we've been all the way up there, since the beginning of since the middle of the year. I've been saying you got to sell, and if you've been selling, well done. Okay, so NP, have a good one.